Hello. Okay, so in this basically we will see how to run the ML pipelines on the Kubeflow. So basically we will do three things. We will create an AI platform pipeline, we will run the pipeline, and we will visualize the pipeline. So pipeline is basically, you can say, the end-to-end machine learning model process. Like we have the data, right? After that we will process the data, we will train different models, we will evaluate, and then we will deploy. So all this considered as a pipeline. Okay, so basically in this lab we will see how to configure and create an AI platform pipeline, and then we will run an example of the pipeline, and then we will visualize the pipeline. So these are the objectives of our lab. Create a Kubernetes cluster. So why we are calling it as a Kubernetes cluster? Because here in the description it is written as running ML pipelines on the Kubeflow. So Kubeflow, okay, let's Google it. What is Kubeflow? This is the official website, kubeflow.org. Kubeflow is basically the machine learning toolkit for the Kubernetes. So Kubeflow basically run on the Kubernetes. So to run the Kubeflow, first we need the Kubernetes. So first we create a Kubernetes cluster, and once the cluster is created, after that we will configure the pipelines. Once the pipeline is configured, we will launch the pipeline, we will run the pipeline, we will you can say the verify the pipelines output, we can visualize it. Okay, these are the very common things, setup and the requirements. Okay, task 1 is set up an AI platform pipeline instance. Where is AI platform? Okay, there is a AI platform. We will need it like many times, so let's pin it. So it will come on the top here, and also we will pin it compute engine and the Kubernetes engine. Let's open in some different tab. Okay, as of now we don't have any Kubernetes cluster. Hide info panel, and we don't have any VM instances available, right? So first we will create a Kubernetes cluster. So we have two options. Either we can directly create using the web UI using the portal, or we can issue the command, Qwiklabs command. Cluster is basically, you can say, a group of virtual machine. Once the cluster is getting created, we will see here we will found 2-3 VM instances will be up and running. So we are basically creating a cluster, Qwiklabs container clusters create, and the name of the cluster is cluster 1. In the zone is US Central 1, and these are some basic information. The type of the machine, the N1 standard 2 type. Okay, let's press enter. it will take few minutes to create the cluster and to create the VM instances at the backend and to make it up and running. So let me pause the video for the time being. Okay, the command processing is completed. Now the cluster is up and the status is running. So we can verify from the UI interface as well. Let's scroll this. Okay, cluster 1 is created. Okay, it's okay. In the VM instance, let's refresh it. Okay, we have the 3 VM instances available with the name GKE cluster 1 default pool. Okay, let's close this. Leave. Okay, what next? Now the cluster is created, so on top of the cluster we have to create the pipelines. So AI pipeline, so we will go to the AI platforms and we will see the option pipelines. Just click on it. So as of now we don't have any pipeline, so create a new instance. So configure it. So Qflow pipeline basically run on the Kubernetes cluster. So we have already created the cluster, so it's automatically selected here. So otherwise what we can do is we can like create a new cluster if it was not created in the first step. Okay, but all these steps we need to find. Okay, we can leave everything as the namespace default. The name, we don't need to change the name, just we will accept the terms and condition and we will deploy it. So no need to change the pipeline name. So pipeline name will be Qflow pipeline 1 and leave everything else. So though we have the so many options, we can define the cloud storage bucket, we can define the SQL instance, and leave this option as of now. Just accept it and deploy it. Here is the notification tab, we can also see the notifications. Automatically you will see we come into the Kubernetes engine page. We created from here, but automatically we came into the Kubernetes engine because this pipeline is getting created on the top of the Kubernetes. So this application in the application tab, you can say. Waiting for the application component. 19 out of 32. Check my progress. It's still in. So it is checking whether this pipeline is available or not. Qflow pipelines 1. So once the pipeline will get deployed, so we can see the pipelines here. Right now there is no row to display. Okay, now it came here. Still it is not fully deployed. This is of 20 marks. Qflow is the machine learning toolkit for Kubernetes. The Qflow project is dedicated to making deployments of machine learning models on the Kubernetes, and it is portable and scalable. Why it is scalable? Because at the back end we have the three machines, three virtual instance created, so we can change the setting and as many as we want. And why it is portable? Because Qflow run on the top of the Kubernetes, so wherever the Kubernetes will run, the Qflow will definitely be run. Like Kubernetes run on the AWS cloud, Azure cloud, IBM cloud, so there we can run the Qflow as well. Anywhere you are running Kubernetes, you should be able to run the Qflow. Qflow pipeline 1. Let me pause the recording. Okay, it's deployed completely. Deploy on the cluster 1, and so many other information. Qflow pipeline deployed on the Kubernetes engine. Okay, we can refresh once, and we will check our progress. Okay, it's completed now. Now the second thing is we need to, the pipeline is Kubernetes engine is created, right? So on top of that we have created the pipeline. Now we will run a example pipeline. So let's open the pipeline dashboard. So here just click on the open pipelines dashboard. Let me close these other tabs. Okay, so you will see some getting started documentation here. Here you have see the various example pipelines available. So which pipeline we need to run. So you will see a list of pipelines that have been provided for demo and tutorial purpose. For this lab you will use the demo XGBoost iterative model training sample pipeline. So do we have the XGBoost? Okay, we have the demo XGBoost iterative. Just click on it. So we will see the graph. So as I told, the pipeline is basically a end-to-end flow. Like we have the data set here, then we are like transforming the data set, we are removing the headers, we are training it, train, predict, calculate, and then again go back if we need to retrain the model. Okay. Now we need to click on the create experiment on the top right of associated new experiment to run. Okay, create experiment. So experiment name, enter the name my first experiment. Okay, and then click next. Okay. Leave the default options and click start to run the pipeline. The pipeline run may take a few minutes to complete. Leave all the options, just click on the start. So pipeline is now running. Let's click on it. So the data set has been fetched and the step is completed. We can click on it, we can see the status. So this is the data set. Taxi trip Chicago data set. This step is succeeded. Pandas transform data frame in CSV format. So this is also completed. Remove header, XGBoost train, XGBoost train model. Prediction is currently running. Okay, retrain. So mean squared error is 0.012, 0.82, 0.07. The green check marks means every part of the pipeline ran successfully. You can click on any box and see the output for that part, like input, output, visualization, logs, events, etc. Check my progress to verify the objective. Fail to retrieve run. Calculate regression. 0.008, 0.62, 0.05. In this step 0.012, and in this step 0.008. So it decreases. What is the condition? The step is in script state with the message when 0.08 is greater than 0.01 evaluated false. Okay, it's completed. Yeah, this step skipped, I think. This is the source code. Train until good. Qflow pipelines ಇದೆ. Data set. Train on CSV, predict on CSV. Okay, this is the condition. But in this lab our objective is not to find like what all this code is about. We just need to know how we can like create the pipeline using the UI, and what is the pipeline, and how to see the graphs, etc. So that's completed. You can close it.